Fathers play an integral role in the family, not only as traditional breadwinners, but also the dependable mentors and caregivers that they ought to be. We all have different ideas about what a good father should be, but we can all agree on some things. A good father is caring, supportive, maybe a little tough sometimes, but overall a strong and reliable presence that you can always look for help. Fathers who fit the bill deserve to be honored in many ways, especially in a world that's rife with horrible examples of parenting. In anime especially, horrible fathers run amok, some of them worse than anything we've ever seen. But just because anime is full of bad dads doesn't mean that there aren't some stellar examples among them. And perhaps it's the overwhelming presence of these bad fathers that make the good and wholesome fathers stand out even more. Today we count down the top 10 best fathers or father figures in anime and give these great dads the recognition they deserve. Welcome to Cosplay-FTW, your #1 source for the latest lowdown on anime and manga news, updates, and analyses. Sit back, relax, and before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Please be warned that there might be spoilers ahead, especially concerning the unfortunate fates of some of these fathers, so be wary. And with that, let's dive in. Up first, we have Shiro Fujimoto from Blue Exorcist. Shiro is a priest exorcist and the adoptive father of the Okumura twins. But just because he isn't their real dad doesn't make Shiro any less of a good father figure. And let's be honest, having literally Satan as a dad already sets the bar so low it's literally in hell. But Shiro steps the bar up nonetheless, raising the Okumura twins since they were babies and doing a pretty good job at it. Despite his womanizing ways, Shiro is shown to be a great caretaker to his adoptive sons. He was the only one able to calm Rin down and served as an exemplary mentor that Rin looked up to. He supported Rin's first attempts at cooking and allowed Rin to vent his frustrations out on him, understanding and accepting Rin's uncontrollable temper. He is shown to be patient and understanding and a wonderful guide to his sons. And spoiler alert, when things came down to it, Shiro was willing to sacrifice his own life to protect Rin and Yukio, continuing to think only of what was best for them even when Rin berated him for not being their real father. In fact, it's implied the only reason someone as strong-willed as Shiro was able to be possessed by Satan was because he was upset about his fight with Rin beforehand. In the end, although Shiro perished, his genuine love for his sons remained undying. Up next, we have Orsi or Faye from Black Clover, another priest/father figure. Orsi runs the orphanage where Asta and Yuno grow up, and treats all the children under his care as if they were his own. He is an honest and upstanding man who is incredibly proud and supportive of all his children, especially of Asta and Yuno, when they decide to leave to follow their own ambitions. He is shown to be quite selfless, always putting the well-being of the children and his community before himself, and he's always overjoyed when Asta and Yuno come to pay a visit. You won't find a father quite as genuine and enthusiastic as Orsi, and while his goofy side often embarrasses his kids, they know that it comes from a truly sincere and loving place, making Orsi one of the best father figures we could ever ask for. Moving on, we have now Fumi Iwatani from Rise of the Shield Hero. Despite initially wanting to raise his charges, Raphtalia and Philo as slaves and as fighters for himself, now Fumi quickly becomes something of a father figure to them, making sure that they're fed, clothed, and have a place to stay. He's incredibly protective of them and is always shown to be concerned for their well-being, treating them more like the children that they are instead of slaves that he can order around. He even taught them how to defend themselves, and while much of their lives are devoted to fighting, he does make sure that they still have a bit of fun here and there. Overall, while certainly not looking like a father given his rather young age, now Fumi still proves himself to be a good parental figure to Raphtalia and Philo, and saving them from a thankless life as slaves and tools. Next, we have Might Guy from Naruto, a self-proclaimed nice guy and the lovable mentor of Team Guy. You might remember Guy as the man with the funny hairstyle and a wildly optimistic personality, but beyond that, he also proves himself to be a great mentor to his mentees, especially to Rock Lee. In fact, it's Guy who takes Lee as his pupil. Even though he was unable to use ninjutsu or genjutsu, Guy offers to train Lee in taijutsu instead and believes in him wholeheartedly, despite his initial lack of ability. Guy is always holding his students up to be at their best, believes in the untapped potential in each of them, and disciplines them whenever they are led astray. But although his discipline often comes in the form of physical punishment, Guy always hears them out first and even empathizes with them, despite still needing to discipline them. His students in turn understand that he only means well and strives to do better and make their teacher proud. To Team Guy, and especially to Rock Lee, Might Guy is simply the best father figure that they could ask for. Arriving at our number 6, we have Joseph Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. While Joseph in Battle Tendency is a brash, hot-tempered young man who could use some more discipline in his life, by the time he's gotten significantly older in Stardust Crusaders, he's definitely mellowed out and dotes endlessly on his daughter Holly. His love for his daughter is immediately apparent from the moment we see them together, playfully teasing her and talking to her as if she were still a child, though Holly doesn't seem to mind. It's clear that Joseph is extremely protective of his daughter and only wants what's best for her, though it often gets to the point where he's even a little disdainful of the Japanese as a whole, because of Holly marrying a Japanese man. But even to his grandson Jotaro, Joseph proves to be a great father figure, especially since Jotaro's own father is no longer around. When Holly's life is put in danger, Joseph immediately sets out to save her without question, and continues to show just how devoted a father he is throughout their quest. Putting aside his womanizing ways and history as a horrible husband, you probably won't find a dad as loving or as doting as Joseph Joestar.
Ad time.
Wow! Summer's here. I can't wait to go to anime cons, cosplay pool parties, photo shoots, and... Wait a minute. I don't have any new cosplays. What the heck am I gonna do?
I am the Cosplay Bear, and I'm here to tell you, don't worry girl, that's easy. Just go to Cosplay-FTW.com, where you can find hundreds of cosplays, props, and wigs, and everything you need to have a great summer doing TikToks or photos or whatever, and they ship worldwide.
Thanks, Cosplay Bear. You and Cosplay-FTW have saved my summer.
End of ad.
Up next, we have Almight from My Hero Academia. Probably the most infamous example of a good father figure, Almight acts as a mentor for our young Midoriya. Almight was originally hesitant to choose a successor, but after seeing Midoriya's determination and drive, and perhaps because Midoriya reminded him of himself, he saw the potential in him and passed One for All onto him. Since then, Almight has been training Midoriya to become an even better hero than Almight himself was, and he never stops believing in Midoriya through the whole thing. While he does feel some measure of guilt for putting so much pressure on Midoriya or for constantly putting his life in danger, which makes him feel worse when Midoriya's own mother confronts them about it, Almight has tremendous faith in Midoriya, and nobody wants Midoriya to succeed more than he does. Almight also shows immense pride at everything Midoriya's achieved thus far, and just because he's not a pro hero anymore, that still won't stop him from helping Midoriya and doing his utmost to make sure he's equipped with all the necessary tools it takes to surpass him and become an even greater hero. Almight truly is an exemplary father figure, and we're sure Midoriya couldn't have asked for anyone better. Next, we have Joichiro Yukihira from Food Wars. The father of Suma Yukihira, Joichiro is known as an incredible chef, but is also a pretty good father on the side. Even with his illustrious career in cooking, Joichiro appears kind and humble, and now only seeks to help his son get better. He taught his son how to cook from a young age and has only continued to support Suma's dreams since. He didn't smother Suma, nor pressure him to be the best, but simply taught him all that he knew while encouraging Suma's passion for cooking. Suma's habit of clapping on someone's hands to calm them down come from none other than Joichiro, who used the same tactic to clear Suma's head when he got nervous and started to doubt himself. Joichiro is not just a father to Suma, but even to Asahi Nakiri, before he had to unfortunately leave Asahi in America. Overall, Joichiro is a father who believes in his son the most and is always pushing him to be better than Joichiro himself. It's rare to find a good father-son relationship in anime, and when it comes to Joichiro and Suma, you probably won't find a better pair. Next on our list, we have Akio Furukawa from Clannad. The father of the main love interest, Nagisa, Akio may seem brash and vulgar, but beneath that rough and tumble personality is a wonderful dad and a loving husband. Akio puts his family before everything else. He quit his old job when it got in the way of his time with his daughter, and he doesn't regret giving up his own dreams for the sake of Nagisa's. He states that he only ever wants to see Nagisa happy and will do anything to make sure of that, being supportive of anything she decides to do and being proud of what she's accomplished. He agrees to start a bakery after his wife suggested it, and even though she ended up being a bad baker, Akio pretends to love her bread nonetheless and outright makes it a household rule that no one is allowed to tell his wife that her bread is terrible. Akio even ends up becoming something like a father figure to Nagisa's love interest, Tomoya, in place of Tomoya's own absent father. Indeed, his and Tomoya's constant bickering comes off as pretty fond and familial. And after Tomoya and Nagisa get married, he welcomes Tomoya into their family, but not before threatening to kill Tomoya if he ever hurts Nagisa. Later, Akio and his wife even take in and take care of their granddaughter, Ushio, for 5 whole years when Tomoya becomes unable to care for her. Akio truly goes above and beyond for his family, making him one of the best anime fathers out there. Coming in second to last, we have Kohei Inuzuka from Sweetness and Lightness. Kohei is a single dad who is left alone to care for his 5-year-old daughter, Tsumugi, after his wife's passing. Kohei is entirely devoted to his daughter. He's patient and hardworking and ultimately only wants the best for Tsumugi. This is what leads him to seek cooking lessons from his own student Kotori, so he can make and eat homemade meals with Tsumugi. He seems the happiest whenever his daughter enjoys something he's made, and honestly, just seeing how much hard work Kohei puts into making his daughter happy is such a heartwarming sight. He even feels bad for scolding Tsumugi, though he knows it's for her own good and is never harsh or cruel without reason. Above all, Kohei's determination shows that even though he's already a good father, he still believes that he can do better. And if it's for Tsumugi's sake, Kohei is willing to go through anything, even grueling cooking lessons. Overall, just a loving and exemplary dad. And finally, our last entry on this list is Maze Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist. Of course, who can forget Hughes and his rambling tangents about his family? Hughes is a family man through and through. He regularly carries pictures of his wife and his daughter around, and will take any opportunity and lull in a conversation to brag about them, happily showing off their photos without a hint of embarrassment. Indeed, even among his colleagues, he's known to ramble on and on about his family without any shame, often going on about how great marriage is. You won't find a man as loyal and devoted to his family as Hughes, and throughout the story, his family remains his greatest motivation and inspiration. Indeed, and this is spoilers for anyone who's never seen Fullmetal Alchemist, Hughes' family proves to be his own downfall when envy takes the form of his wife, causing Hughes to hesitate before attacking him and leading to his death, his family's picture on the ground close by. But even after his death, Hughes is honored and remembered as a devoted father and a loving husband who did everything for the sake of his family. And we're sure that wherever he is, he's still bragging about how great his wife and daughter are to anyone who would listen. And that's it for our top 10 list of the best father figures in anime. Do you agree with us, or do you have some fathers of your own that you feel should be up here? Let us know in the comments below and we can get the discussion popping. Before we go, we'd like to wish a happy Father's Day to all the deserving dads out there. And with that being said, we'll see you in the next one.
Hey guys, so today I have package. This is from Cosplay-FTW. I ordered like plushies, but like plush pillows, but for some reason my Funimation one is super delayed, and like I looked at the tracking thing and still it's been a month and there's still nothing. So I'm hoping it is exactly what I think it is, which is 2 plush pillows. So this is the bag it came in, and this is the actual bag. They're both in separate bags, and there's bubble wrap all around. This one came in a bag. It's just a regular bag, so I'll rip it. Here, so it's really nice. And then the other side, you flip it over. It's so cute. And then the other side is, if you guys want to check them out, it's from Cosplay-FTW again. They sell cosplays too, so you can definitely look at that.